Hi guys, in this tutorial I'm going to be sharing with you guys how to create a single twist technique. I'm going to be working on my model Luciana, and I'll be showing you how to create that look on hair type 4 textured hair. As you can see, her hair texture is type 4B. Her hair has already been prepped, it's been shampooed and conditioned, and it's been lightly blow dried out, hence why it's a little bit more stretched than it would be in its natural state. So what I'm going to be using for the styling is going to be products that are designed specifically for the single twisting technique. I'm going to be working with Flora and Curl. That's a brand that caters specifically for multi-textured hair and type 4 hair texture. And the product I'm going to be using for the twisting technique is called Twist and Braid Cream. This is by Flora and Curl. So this can be used if you're doing a single twisting technique, or it can also be used if you're doing a braiding technique. But for the specific styling that we're doing, which will be the single twist, that's what I'm going to be using. Before we do the styling of the hair as well, we have to prepare the hair correctly. So if your model's hair or whoever's hair you're styling is a little bit on the dry side, you want to make sure that the hair is moisturized. So what we're going to be using for that process on Luciana's hair, we're actually going to be spraying the hair with some of the Mizani 25 Miracle Milk Spray, which is a leave-in conditioner designed to work as a heat protector and also while moisturizing the hair at the same time. And after that, I am going to apply a little bit more of a pomade cream on her hair just for extra moisture in the hair. Although the products that I'm going to be using, the twisting cream, it does provide moisture for the hair, but part of your prep, you're likely that you're going to need a little bit more product on the hair as well. And for that, I'm going to be using Charlotte Mensa's hair pomade. So this is going to be used on the hair before I blow dry the hair. So there's stages where you might want to use a moisturizing cream before you blow dry the hair, or you might apply this after you've actually blow dried the hair. So for Luciana's hair, I'm going to apply this before we blow dry the hair, just to help the process of smoothing the hair and maintaining the moisture in the hair as well, so the hair doesn't dry out because of the heat that we're actually going to be applying on the hair. Okay, so those are the key products that I'm going to be using during this process. If for any reason you feel that the hair needs to be wet before you start the process, you can spray the hair down with a little bit of water and then apply your products in there. Although I would actually recommend that instead of using water, you utilize your leave-in conditioner sprays, because they are designed to wet the hair down while still also maintaining the moisture that we need in the hair as well. So that is the process of what I'm going to be doing in terms of the products that we're going to apply on the hair. And then I will talk through what tools we're going to use when we actually start the process of styling the hair as well. Now our model needs to be prepared correctly for the styling that we're doing. As I mentioned before, her hair was already shampooed and conditioned and blow dried out. You want to make sure that if you're doing any form of styling on someone's hair, the hair has to be freshly clean. You want to avoid creating more buildup by working on someone's hair that has already got product on the hair before you actually do the styling. So what we need to do now with her hair, as you can see, if I just turn her around, if you just look at the ends of the hair, she does need a little bit more of a trim. So it might be an ideal point to actually trim the hair first before you proceed and do any styling on the hair. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply the product, as I mentioned before, in terms of the prep that I'm going to do on her hair. I'm going to lightly spray over the Mizani 25 Miracle Milk, and then I'm going to apply the pomade on her hair. The reason why I'm doing this, even though her hair is already blow dried slightly, the fact that I need to trim her hair just a little bit more, I need to just make sure that the hair is completely smoothed out. It's a little bit more tightly coiled in the roots here, so we need to stretch that out a little bit more. So the product is just going to be lightly mist over. So with your leave-in conditioner, you don't have to put too much product in the hair. Unless you feel that the hair requires it, you don't need to put so much product in there. So we've got the leave-in conditioner on the hair now, and I'm going to lightly apply my Charlotte Mensa hair pomade. So this is used specifically for adding moisture to the hair and also adding some shine to the hair. One thing I'll mention is when you're working with natural afro textured hair, you notice that the hair doesn't have a natural shine to it. So the products we use have to be designed to add moisture and the shine that we need in the hair as well. So I'm just taking that product through the palm of my hands, and then I'll just lightly start to work this product through the hair. You want to apply this through lightly. Don't press your hands down completely when you're actually applying the product. Otherwise, if you do, what's going to happen is the instant you press down on the hair, all the product is just going to deposit in one area. So you just want to lightly work the product through the hair and focusing on the areas that you might feel the hair needs a little bit more moisture, which tends to be more around the mid-lengths to the ends of the hair. And then we just work this through. So once this is done, what I'm going to do is I'm going to smooth this over with my dryer. So in terms of tools, you want to make sure that you use the right tools. When you're working with afro hair texture, in its natural state, the hair is naturally kinky coiled. So you're not able to just go in with your paddle brush or a flat brush in terms of blow drying the hair. So I'd recommend that you have a good hair dryer. The dryer I'm using today is my Parlex hair dryer. I've had this for a while, as you might be able to tell. So you want to have a good hair dryer. I've always used the Parlex range since I started hairdressing. I'm more comfortable with using that, and I find that it works really great for afro hair texture. But you have so many options in terms of dryers. The key thing is that whatever dryer you use, you need to be able to have one that has either a fork attachment that comes with the dryer, or you will have to buy that separately. So with this attachment that I have here, you can find this on online. You can find it on Amazon. You can find it on most of the hair shops that cater for afro hair texture in terms of the products and the styling tools that they might have. You're likely going to find one of these here. So this is called an afro peak attachment. This one that I have, it does fit on most dryers, but if you have a dryer like GHD hair dryer, I believe they have their own attachment that comes with that one. Or if you have the Dyson dryer, they've got their own attachment that comes with the dryer as well. So you have options, but the key thing is you always want to use the right tools when you're blow drying your afro hair texture. So I'm going to smooth the hair over with this fork attachment here. And if you feel that the hair is not as smooth as how you want it to be, this is when you can then go over the hair again with your paddle brush or with your round brush if you want to do that. But because of the styling technique that we're doing, which is the single twisting, the hair does not have to be very, very smooth or very, very straight. You just want it in a stretched out form that allows you to actually create a smooth finish on your twist. So I'm just going to use the fork attachment. I'm not going to go over the hair with a paddle brush, but if you wanted to, it would be one of these here, okay? So any paddle brush will work, or even if you want to use a round brush, you can use that only after you've actually blow dried the hair out with the fork attachment first. So that's the key point, and I really want to emphasize on this, just so that you know that your afro hair texture, you cannot blow dry it with a paddle brush until you actually prepare it first with a fork attachment. It's much more easier to work in sections when you're styling your afro hair texture. So we'll be sectioning this hair into 4 quarters, and then I'll blow dry each section separately. So you want to make sure that you have good section clips. I use more the butterfly clips because they tend to hold the hair much more better than the sliding ones. Unless you have really good holding grip sliding section clips, then you can use those, but I generally find the butterfly clips work a little bit more better. Okay, so that's what I'm going to be using on a hair. So we'll section this out into 4, blow dry the hair out and smooth it, and then I'm going to just give it a nice one length trim just to tidy up the ends of the hair, so that when we actually do the styling of the hair is going to look great from the roots all the way to the ends. We don't want those straggly bits where we've got the split ends slightly sticking out. It can mess up the look of the style that you're trying to create. So if at any point you notice that the hair needs a good trim or a cut, just let your client know, or your model know, or whoever's hair you're working on, that you just need to tidy up the ends of the hair so that it just helps to enhance the look a little bit more.